Hi and welcome to the Australian Gamer Show. I'm Matt.
And I'm Yug.
Apologies, I have Ebola. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Game Boy drug peripheral.
Necrovision refused classification.
Rascals announced.
Bioshock 2 gameplay.
And a giant World of Warcraft patch.
Of fucking course.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not often they bring out a patch of this gigantic magnitude.
It's
deserves mention.
Patch.
It's not just like a little patch though, it adds a whole bunch of new content to the game.
Well then, shouldn't it be not called a patch?
No, it's not a patch.
It's not fixing anything.
It's a content patch. It is a change of the game,
so
it's not an expansion, therefore it's a patch.
But it is an expansion.
It's a mini-spansion.
It's... You're admitting it's not a patch. It's like
no, it is a patch because it patches the game.
I always thought, to be honest, that World of Warcraft patches, they provided new content to distract you from the shit that they had to fix.
That's possibly true sometimes. Yeah. Though they've broken a lot of shit with this one, as with any other major patch.
You know what? Let's kick this off on an exciting note. Tell me all about the latest World of Warcraft patch. Warcraft.
Well, basically they've added a bunch of new content, such as a new raid called People pronounce it differently. I've always called it Ulduar, but I think it might be Uldur, or I don't know, something like that.
Urethra, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's a big titany place, and it's full of giant things, and they hurt you.
Yep.
It does have a series of robots in it. One of which is called Pew times 2.
Whoa, robots. World of Warcraft doesn't have robots.
Yes, it does. Goblins have robots.
Goblins have robots.
Well, the goblins have always... sorry, not goblins. Gnomes have always run around on little robots.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've not played much.
I have not.
Anyway, the gnomes are very clever and they build little robots, including big robots. And these particular big robots are very bad.
And you have to fight them.
You have to fight them, and some of the bosses, quite a few of the bosses in this one are robots or golem type things of some kind. But there's one set of bosses where there's like lots of mini bosses, and one of them is called Pew times 2, which translates to Pew Pew, which is common. And there's a few others. I can't remember the names of some of the others, but when they're all killed, they form into something called Voltron.
Dude,
I know, it's so unbelievably nerdy that it makes me excited.
No, excited. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll go with that.
There are other additions that have come to it. Minor strange things like when you loot for emblems of heroism, everyone loots at the same time and you don't have to do it individually. I don't know why, but that's an addition. But the main one that's also been announced is dual specs. Dual specs are the ability to have 2 specs instead of 1.
Yep. Now that we've lost the majority of listeners from this
people
podcast,
know what I'm talking about. The other thing that's a nice addition, I think, is the addition of colorblind mode.
Yeah.
Which takes out some of the options in the interface and stuff.
Because Matt is colorblind.
I am.
He can only see black and white.
Oh my god,
he thinks
that is so not true.
Every game is like Mad World.
Yes, I do.
Except he can't see red either.
Right.
It's invisible to him.
Right.
He can't actually see fire trucks when they come towards him. Well, you can probably hear them.
I can see a floating ladder.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know.
Whatever. I hate you so much. Whatever. Anyway, it's a giant expansion. It's adding some new content to the game that's much needed. It's the first content addition since the expansion. So.
It's probably worth noting at this point for anyone that doesn't actually realise, Australian Gamer does have a very active guild in World of Warcraft called Deus Ex Machinima. Deus
Ex Arma, which technically is Army of God.
Yes. Right.
And but we're not. We're a very casual guild. We're fun. We raid, but we don't raid hardcore. We actually only clear.
How do you not raid hardcore?
Well, basically, some people that I know actually will have serious raids for like 4 to 5 hours, 4 or 5 times a week.
So, as in, you have a regular schedule.
Yeah, they have a full-on schedule.
Don't you guys have a schedule though?
But it's like Fridays and Sundays. That's it.
Okay.
Because that's when people tend to be around, and the Friday one is pretty casual, and the Sunday one.
That's going out time, dude.
Not when you're a World of Warcraft player.
Obviously not.
What are you gonna do? Meet girls? Anyway, yeah. So
you've transcended to a brand new level of nerdy, dude.
World of Warcraft is in and of itself a brand new.
I
level of nerdy.
know, but
see, that's the point. I mean, all of us, almost all of us, are we're too busy to play in a guild that has.
No, I know. It's
rating.
just kind of funny because I mean, I always knew you had this.
Well,
affliction.
a lot of people in the guild don't go out on a Friday. Sorry, a lot of people in the guild don't come to the raid on a Friday night because they're too busy going out.
That's cool.
Laid.
It's just I think now more than ever, I'm hearing when I call you up, the reason I can't tonight, I've got a raid on. I have heard that more in the last 2 months than I have from you in the last 2 years.
No.
Yes.
Probably not in the last 2 years, but certainly in the last couple of months because we've only started raiding quite recently.
Yeah.
Because we've only been able to.
Don't get me wrong. Like I think you know, as long as your disease is manageable, there's nothing particularly wrong with it. You're not hurting anyone. So only yourself. Yeah. So I'm fine with that.
Well, what? Because spending a few hours, 1 day a week is just ridiculous, and I've clearly got a problem.
A few hours.
A few hours.
What's right. Whatever.
Spending. If I was to go out and go drinking on a Saturday night,
yay!
for like 8 hours, you would think that was an entirely reasonable way to spend every weekend.
Yep.
But I don't. I choose to do something else.
Whatever.
But you don't
Your reason and logic makes no sense to me.
Whatever. All right. So let's move on to something you do understand: excessive drug use.
On the Game Boy, no less.
On the Game Boy. A company has recently announced a peripheral for the Game Boy, and I believe it's actually one of the sort of earlier Game Boys.
It's called PediSedate, which,
it's called
to be completely honest,
which is awesome.
I did think for a second that was some way to sedate pedophiles playing the Game Boy. And I don't know the reason for that particular peripheral.
Well, because the word pedi is now completely lost to pedophilia.
Yeah.
There was actually a case in the UK where someone had the word pedo, something like pedo go home or something.
Yep.
Spray painted on the wall.
Pedo and pedi, just in general, is gone.
But the person who had that sprayed on their wall was actually a pediatrician, a doctor for children. And somebody didn't understand the difference between a pediatrician and a pedophile. Yeah. These are important distinctions, people.
Yeah, that's right. He treats the children.
Well, she,
you know.
And so cops a feel every now and then. What's the harm? Anyway.
Can I just say, you know what the best costume that I saw at Supernova was a couple of weeks ago? Pedo Bear. They had. If anyone doesn't know who Pedo Bear is, just search for it online. It's okay. It should be fairly safe for work. Hold on, Matt's dying. That's all right.
I have a flu.
And there was a guy dressed up in a full Pedo Bear outfit, which is it's a giant teddy bear looking thing, right? So if you don't know who Pedo Bear is, you're just thinking, oh, isn't that cute? Even more cute was when he was running after kids, grabbing them and giving them a great big hug. And you saw the parents of the kids stand there smiling, going, ah. And then you'd see little clumps of people around the area looking at it going, oh, that's wrong. That's just wrong. And he was so enthusiastic about the hugging too, like, tilting his head left to right and great big hugs and swinging left to right. And
not okay.
No, it wasn't right. But anyway,
didn't he cause problems? Didn't they tell him? Oh no, wasn't he not allowed to enter the costume competition? Apparently,
I'm not sure.
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that.
They didn't kick him out, but they did say that they weren't allowing him to enter the costume competition.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because he would have won.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He would have had my vote.
But anyway, this thing, PediSedate.
Can I just say, it actually looks like the trap from the first Saw movie.
It does, doesn't it?
You know, the thing where they put it on the head and it rips your jaw off?
But like the Fisher-Price version of that.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a friendly version of the thing that rips your head open.
Seriously,
from Saw.
It looks like they've gagged the children. Look at it.
It's actually, that's in and of itself not a bad idea. Now, what
it's trying to do, kind of.
It's this kind of gas masky headband.
Saw torture device.
Well, I think it's also got headphones in it as well.
Okay.
And it attaches to a Game
handy.
Boy. And
that's why it's plugged in.
Yeah.
For the headphones.
And it basically is intended to administer at certain times a burst of nitrous oxide while playing presumably a specific game, not, say,
I don't know. I reckon while you're playing WarioWare, if you're getting gassed with nitrous oxide, that'd be awesome. Or like when, new Super Mario Brothers, when you grow to that huge size, something it's like...
Yeah, that's on the DS.
DS, right. It's Game Boy.
But in any case, it looks quite terrifying in a friendly and cute blue plastic sort of way.
It looks like a Nintendo peripheral designed to torture you.
But yeah, it's intended to. Well, we should probably mention that it's intended to help kids who are undergoing serious therapies.
Of course, there is a reason. This wasn't developed by some bong-smoking hippie uni student in the corner of his dorm going, you know what would be awesome? Let's make this thing that gasses you up while you're playing games.
Yeah, a good example of its use in treatment is actually children who have severe burns. They have to actually have the burnt skin scraped off, and it is apparently one of the most horrendous ordeals you can endure, and they can't be.
What I don't understand though, what do you mean they can't be anaesthetized? Because the concept of gassing someone, I never thought. I mean, okay, if there's a doctor coming along with a big fuck off needle, kids and fuck kids, me, anyone, is going to be like, get that thing away from me. It's sharp and pointy, and I know it's going to hurt. But a gas mask isn't actually intrusive or offensive or anything like that.
It's not really all that scary unless you happen to have like a specific fear.
Which is why I actually think this is developed, although it's for kids, in quotation marks, I think it's actually developed for adults to pick it up. Similar to how they actually developed...
Where are you going with this?
Well, you know how they make adult games, but, the kids play them anyway, sort of thing. I always did when I was a kid, sort of thing. There'd be games that are targeted to a more... Max Payne or something like that, right? Yeah. Okay. But it's cool when you're a kid to play it. Bullet time, This thing, the opposite. It's designed for kids, but there's going to be a whole bunch of adult gamers going, I can gas myself up on nitrous oxide while playing games.
All right. I'm going to start with A. What the fuck are you talking about? And then B. It wouldn't fit on their head.
It's got adjustable sliders.
Yeah, but not that adjustable.
Yeah, they are. Look at them.
Whatever.
What if you're a midget? You'd be set.
Well, you're set then, aren't you?
You'd probably need to gas yourself up. I don't know.
Harsh.
It was a bit harsh.
Anyway,
we love the little people too.
Yes, we do.
There's a guy in the valley. There's a midget. I walk.
Oh my god, dude.
Sorry. In the valley, he walks to work right when I do.
Oh, how dare he work like a normal human being?
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's bizarre.
There's nothing.
Oh, what a weirdo.
Nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
But it deserves to be mentioned on an international podcast.
Yes. Oh, dude, we've mentioned way more useless stuff before. That's not the point. I'm just saying there is a midget that goes along the same path I do to work, and I can't stop looking at him.
There's an Asian woman who goes to work at the same time I do.
Yep.
No, she's actually coming the opposite way, and I can't figure whether she's quite a pretty lady or quite a pretty man.
Yep. She's
it's
a lady.
One of those, it's
a lady
one of those
boy.
Really hard calls. Like, she's kind of big, but not that big.
Oh, okay.
So it's really dubious. Yeah.
Does she have hair on her chin, or?
No, nothing obvious, nothing helpful like that. It's just like.
Not
that she would be like that hot a woman. No. She's a bit kind of.
But you're not sure.
Featured,
it's a bit ambiguous. Sort of
thing. It's all very ambiguous.
It's not completely one way or the other.
It's one of the problems with living in the valley is you're never really sure.
You're never really sure. A mate of ours, actually, his name's Troy. He actually went over to Thailand, and he got really drunk, went on the dance floor, he's dancing with this girl, all good sort of thing. Started making out with her, fantastic. Got back to their room, found out she was a lady. This is Skip, by the way.
Yeah.
Found out she was a lady boy. And pretty much went, oh, well, I'm here.
Oh, God. Apparently they have...
When in Rome.
And what happens in... Was it Thailand?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Exactly.
Unless, of course, you tell all your mates when you get home.
And then we talk about it on the podcast, international podcast.
Oh, God.
Sorry, phone going. It was Jay. It's Jay. But anyway, I'll talk to him later. Anyway, we're getting off track. Track. We're getting off track.
Continue.
There's this pedis.
I thought we were done with that, actually.
We are done with that. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Necrovision.
Yeah, Necrovision.
What is with these sus names?
I know. Necrovision sounds like a really exciting new TV show starting on, on cable.
Yeah, cable. Definitely not free to air TV.
Definitely on cable.
Necrovision
is a really underground kind of show.
It's the first. I like that.
Excuse me, I'm coughing.
I'm gonna have a laugh and then die.
No, that was me coughing.
Oh,
You see?
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to laugh at that one. Necrovision is the first game that's been refused classification in
year.
Australia this year.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Necrovision.
I think, normally games like this are either banned for drug use or for excessive violence. Necrovision appears to have been banned for being complete shit.
Well, we did watch a video. It does, to me, my first thoughts was, wow, it's a it's a Wolfenstein mod, Wolfenstein 3D mod.
Yeah, it actually looked to me like someone did a moderately adequate
Wolfenstein.
job of a mod.
Yeah.
Of a good game.
Which I don't understand. I've heard this has actually been in development for quite some time, but there's a lot of games that get developed in like your weird European countries. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass here. I've just never heard of this game, seen this game, and I've watched the video and it looks generally uninteresting. But here's the thing. This is the actual reason it's actually been refused classification. I'm going to read this out word for word. When the player shoots an enemy combatant, a large volume of blood spray results and the enemy may be dismembered or decapitated. Injury detail is high with pieces of flesh seen flying from bodies when shot or a high level of wound detail visible on bodies. Post-mortem damage occurs when bodies are shot, resulting in blood spray, dismemberment and decapitation. Now,
excuse me.
Matt has died, as per usual.
Yeah, whatever.
Doesn't this describe to you Gears of War 2, especially Fallout 3, and almost every FPS game, blah. The other thing is you're shooting Nazis. I would have thought that's okay.
And they appear to be zombie Nazis, which is kind of a double whammy. As far as things that you can shoot in the face, that's right on there.
I know. You know, if Fallout 3, you can shoot farmers and innocent people.
Yeah.
In this one, you shoot Nazis. Zombie Nazis. You know,
that's as bad as you can get.
It is. It doesn't get much worse than that.
Not only are you serving an evil empire, but you're undead.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. You're not. You are dead already. We aren't killing you.
Yeah.
We're putting you out of your misery.
Yeah.
So
actually, we're doing them a favour. So
we are.
It shouldn't be banned.
It shouldn't.
It's actually being nice
to
zombies.
You're going to take that one to the classification board.
Yeah.
Yep.
The zombies are in pain.
Put that one in the bank.
Yep. Anyway, it pretty much underscores the fact. Two important things. One, it underscores the fact that Necrovision looks like shit. And it also underscores the fact that the entire rating system is kind of bizarre and weird and inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's really hard to try to release a game in Australia with no specific rules or lines of what's okay and what's not and where and why.
I'm unsure of. I think we get to this point. It's been a while since a game's been refused classification. This isn't a particularly big or notable title.
Yeah.
But we are literally, flogging a dead horse. We're a broken record at this point in time, and it's really frustrating. I don't know what else to say on the issue.
No, obviously an R rating system would help this, but even aside from that, the fact that the classification system, as it is so bizarrely inconsistent that a game like Mad World can get wandered in with nary a word, and this game, which actually looks significantly less violent and less aggressively, brutally violent.
Yeah.
Now,
if they'd refused it classification because it was shit, that's okay.
Yeah.
Go for that.
I do think that's some power that the governing bodies should have.
They should wield that one.
Though, considering how well We Fit did sell, that's probably just as well they didn't.
Good point. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Because there's nothing more to talk about on that particular topic.
Yeah. So just don't anymore.
I know. That's why I'm moving on.
So move on.
We are.
Hurry up and move on.
Rascals.
Now, what is the correct
Rascals.
pronunciation?
Rascals.
Rascals.
No, Rascals. Actually, I don't know.
Right.
I should know this. Rascals is a Xbox Live game which has been announced. It's coming out later this year.
Is it coming out on an arcade type system I care about?
Xbox Live.
Right. That I meant the PlayStation Network.
You have an Xbox,
Yeah, but I'm not on Live.
Why not?
Because you know how they make you pay money for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, we run a gaming website,
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be completely and utterly biased towards the PlayStation 3. And then, more importantly, complain and bitch that there's nothing to actually download from the PSN.
There's heaps of stuff to download. Heaps of stuff just came on it. What just came on it? Oh, for a start, a bunch of things have been reduced massively. Quest for Pity Bay is now $23, I think.
Yeah.
Crap, there was a game I wanted to buy the other day. There's Burn Zombie Burn. There were a couple of others. Crap,
Huge. Yeah.
No. They were ones that I wanted to get, but my credit card is actually maxed out at the moment.
Right.
By which it's a Visa debit, so that's not a good sign.
Better than just a normal Visa, though.
Yeah, I can't remember what came out the other day, but there were a couple of things that I went, oh.
My point is, there is stuff, actually probably more stuff on the Xbox Live Marketplace.
No, this is a valid point, but it's actually not your point. Your point is, oh look, Rascals looks cool, so let's go to that point.
Okay. Rascals looks cool, and the reason we particularly want to mention it is because it's actually developed by a local developer.
Oh, God.
I know.
You're a wordsmith, aren't you?
I know. I can't think of anything to say, actually.
Wow.
I know.
I put you on the
I'm
spot
that good.
there. Anyway, so...
it's developed by Half Brick Studios.
Mm-hmm.
They're based in Brisbane. This is kind of timely because I actually went in there today. I did a studio tour.
Did you play Rascals?
I didn't.
Really?
They didn't want me to actually play it today.
Oh, why
They
not?
didn't want me to talk about it.
Oh.
And it's funny because we've actually gone in for some play tests pretty much over the last 6 months, I think, and we've seen it develop from where it started. Me and Phil and Oracle and Yahtzee went in.
So basically everyone except me has been there.
Even
right.
Oracle that's not from Brisbane.
Yeah, right.
We got him to come in.
For now.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. He moves up in a week.
Mm.
Anyway, it's an Xbox Live game. We played the multiplayer of it. It's actually really fun. It's a competitive race sort of game. It's got a single player story component. I don't really want to say all that much else about it.
No, but can you, I don't even know the genre.
It's like a side-scrolling thing.
It's a game.
I'm trying to think of another game to relate it to. And this should be easy. It's got a visual style that reminds me a lot of Castle Crashers.
Visual style is irrelevant.
It's stuff. I can't think about it. You race, and it's platforming, and there's blocks that you get rid of.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm just.
I'm not doing this really well.
It's like a mystery.
I'm not doing this really well. I need to get Phil on here. Do you know Phil now works for Half Brick?
Yeah, no, I do.
It's
know.
awesome.
I occasionally get his PR.
I know it's awesome, and I'm going to bring this up every time I see him and every chance I get. It's fantastic how we now get all the PR for Half Brick, and yet he still doesn't actually post any of those PR links that he sends out on Australian Gamer.
Yeah, you would think that would be an obvious
You would think
choice.
so, yeah.
Well, seeing as I work for a website
that promotes games.
Yeah, I should just throw this on the website, but oh no.
No.
Control C, Control V, too goddamn hard.
But anyway, look, I can't, to be honest, I'm having trouble describing it. It was fun. I'm also not quite sure how much I can and can't say because I have played it.
That's fine. But in any case, it's coming out. Do we have a
2009.
2009. Wow. All right.
Later on in the year. But I do want people to keep their eyes out for it and at least download the trial when it comes out, mainly to support local developer and mainly just because we actually did have fun in the last focus test we did play of it sort of thing. So it's like, yay. And I've been obsessively playing Xbox Live games lately. Castle Crashers and Dishwasher and Flock and all these other games that have come out recently. Obsessively. And I love them so much.
Oh, Flock is one that came out on the PlayStation Network.
It also came out on Xbox Network.
I know, you just said that.
I know, I just did.
Oh my God.
BioShock 2 gameplay.
Yeah.
You got nothing to say on this one, do you?
Well, only a bit. A video was shown. It looks alright. It looks like BioShock, except that you appear to be a big daddy.
You do appear to be a big daddy, and you seem to be fighting the little sisters, whatever that means.
The big sisters.
The big sisters.
The little sisters are pretty easy to beat.
You just give them one of those pedo things? And
have some nitrous, kid.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's wrong with them the first time. That's why their eyes are glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. My problem with this video, I particularly want to show it to you, BioShock 2, you know, the first one was amazing. I thought it was amazing. I love the narrative, the story, the atmosphere, everything about it. I don't like seeing a game that's a sequel where the footage that you see could have been from the first game.
By which you mean the fact that you play a completely different character in a relatively similar setting, which makes total sense.
Does it?
Doing completely different things.
you're not doing completely different things, though. This is the point.
The
only difference between that particular...
You are chasing a fast-moving big sister thing that ends up smashing in a window and letting in the water, and then you have to walk around under the water.
Yeah.
You know, like you did in the first one so much.
Well, actually, you did do that in a couple of levels in the first one. You didn't walk under the water, but there were glass bits that cracked and water actually came in. You had to walk through the water and things like that. If you took out the fact that there was a big fucking drill on the right arm, especially with the weapons and things, like, I know it's...
Do you want it to be a fucking kart racer?
No, I just want
How different does a sequel have to be?
Just, it needs to look and feel different. It just...
I
to me, that
disagree. I think it has to look and feel the same, but add something new.
No.
It's got to be...
Otherwise, it's just...
I like your comeback.
Sorry.
I've just made like what I think to be a valid point, and you're just like,
Well, to me, that looks like Bioshock 1.5. It doesn't look like Bioshock 2.
I still think you want it to be a kart racer, possibly a fighting game. All your favourites from Bioshock.
I'm not saying it needs to change genre. I guess I'm also questioning the... I guess I'm also questioning the... I don't know. The thing with Bioshock 1 as well, it was a very claustrophobic sort of thing, right in there sort of thing. This gives the same impression. I mean,
it's terrible the way they've kept the style and feel of the original. It's disgusting.
I don't want to play through the exact same game twice. I don't want to play through a game that feels the same.
So, didn't you earlier say you really enjoyed the narrative?
Yep.
So, if it's got a different narrative...
You know what, maybe that's something as well. I don't see any narrative, I just see gunfights and gameplay.
Video. It's like a 3-minute video.
Yeah,
How much narrative do you expect
I want any narrative. I want to have any concept or idea of where it's going. Or
but you were given some. In the fact that the chick, when you saw the big sister, said, that could be her, chase her, or that must be her or something, chase her, made it seem clear that this one thing was significant in some way.
Generic. Felt generic.
Generic?
Yep.
Of the Bioshock genre.
Yes.
You know what the word generic means, right? Of a specific genre.
There
it means it has characteristics and criteria that belong only to a specific genre.
The Bioshock genre.
Bioshock isn't a genre, it's a game.
It is now. It's got 2 of them.
It's not a genre.
Yes, it is.
No. It's a first-person shooter. And Bioshock, of all things, was not a generic shooter.
I guess, look, I look at that gameplay and I just thought, that gameplay video, and it felt underwhelming. It felt too similar. It felt like the actual mechanics of the game were almost exactly the same as the first in terms of how everything looked, how the health meters worked, how the guns worked. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, I can't help laughing because I'm thinking about what would satisfy you. And I've got this image of you, like, in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, like, surrounded by giant enemy spiders, going, this is what I fucking wanted, yeah! Like,
I guess I just think of when I think of sequels that I really like, sort of thing, I think...
it's a cyborg.
Max Payne or Max Payne 2, as an example, right? That, to me, that kept the essence of the first game.
If you saw a video of Max Payne 2 after watching Max Payne 1, you'd have gone, this is the same fucking game. Because I did see a video of Max Payne 2 game.
After seeing Max Payne 1. It's not the same game at all.
It looks the same.
It looks completely different.
What's different? You're still running around shooting things with guns while jumping in slow motion sideways. What's different?
Everything. It looks completely different.
Narrative. Looks different.
It looks hella different.
How?
It's a brand new engine for starts.
Well, so we've got a slight upgrade to the graphic engine.
A massive upgrade to the graphic engine.
But the style and feel, you're talking about a different generation, not a different...
Yeah.
Not a different game.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe I don't feel that a game should have a sequel until it's actually waited for a while.
Maybe you feel a game shouldn't have a sequel until there's a new generation console to play it on.
Like Mario.
Fuck Mario. It's one of the major problems with Mario and most of the Nintendo games is that they don't release a sequel until there's a new generation console to put it on.
Why is that a bad thing?
Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Because people want to play Bioshock 2. People want to play Mario Sunshine 2.
But do they? Actually, I don't know if they do. Mario Sunshine 2 might be a bit of a stretch.
Do people want to play Mario Galaxy 2? Would people want another Mario Galaxy game?
I don't know. If it was just more of the same, maybe not.
Well, if it added
I don't know. I'm thinking about that. Would I want to play Mario Galaxy 2? Maybe if it really did a lot new.
If it did add like some new elements, new features, new places to go, blah blah blah. I would think people would want it. At the very least, there's the potential to do something with the license other than ignore it.
I guess a lot of the time, like a lot of the sequels that come out, and just Bioshock 2 to me so far, it feels like Bioshock 1.5. It doesn't feel like Bioshock 2. It doesn't feel like there's enough done. I mean, you look at the floors; they look like the same fucking textures. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same place. What do you think they were going to sweep in the meantime?
No, I'm saying, why is it even the same place? Why? What? Am I just retreading over the same Rapture sort of thing? Shouldn't it be progressing onto something or somewhere else? Or...
Well, I'm sure there'll be a post-apocalyptic wasteland at the end for you.
Fuck off! I'm just giving my impression of the gameplay, right? This is how I feel about it.
Your impression is wrong.
It's not wrong. You can't say my impression is wrong. My opinion is wrong. You can say it, but you're wrong for saying I'm wrong.
Okay. I can't say definitively that it's wrong.
Yeah.
I can say that it's stupid.
There we go. I'm okay with you saying that, because I don't value your opinion. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to our podcast once again, and we'll talk to you.
I would like to point out that I have the flu and Helicobacter pylori. I remembered it.
What's that actually mean?
I have a stomach infection.
Are you going to die?
I'll try. If I leave it untreated, I'll get a stomach ulcer. If I leave that untreated, I'll get stomach cancer.
Right.
The doctor and I agreed that was probably plan B.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Yeah. Go for plan A first.
Yeah, which is treatment.
Stomach.
Which is massive amounts of antibiotics, which should be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, antibiotics aren't really fun.
No, not for the first week.
Like, painkillers are fun. That's the good stuff.
So it depends what you mix them with. Anyway, we will talk to you guys again next week.
Yes.